Saturday on Park Avenue, a standoff between a policeman and a civilian. It is still unclear whether the man was operating a taxi or what was the traffic violation, but the policeman attempted to take control of the vehicle by getting into the driver's seat, but the driver wouldn't let him. This would go on for some time, with onlookers demanding that the policeman get out of the man's vehicle. Interestingly, this was unfolding about a meter away from the St. Anne's Bay police station. As the crowd grew, there was still no police backup. The scuffle would continue, neither men backing down. However, after nearly 4 minutes, police reinforcement. The driver was not fazed, and then this happened. It's understood that the man eventually took hold of his vehicle and left the scene, but Tvj News has since learned that he surrendered to the police on Monday evening. So far, we've been unsuccessful in our attempts to get a comment from the St. Anne's Bay police about the incident, but we've also learned that the man will be charged. Janella Precious, Tvj News.
Meanwhile, president of the St. Anne's Bay Taxi Association, Dale Miller, says while the incident was unfortunate, it speaks to an even greater issue: how police officers conduct themselves when enforcing the law.
No matter if it was an illegal or a legal taxi, the policeman has no right to enter the man's vehicle to drive. And let me say, what if somebody had slammed into that vehicle? Who would compensate the owner for his vehicle? Because surely the insurance company would not accept liability for such an incident. So we are saying to Jamaica, we are saying to the Minister of National Security, the Commissioner of Police, and I'm glad that it started in the right time. You know, somebody put some thought behind this thing, because there's no renewal time, and if they don't want to comply, the vehicle will not pass the inspection of the Transport Authority.
It appears a protest by residents of Marchpen Road in St. Catherine has moved beyond what they say is a cold-blooded murder of a neighbor by police. For the second day today and before sunrise, residents started protests blocking the Spanish Town bypass and setting fires to debris. And it seems they're not just concerned about their neighbor's death, but how they're being treated by cops. TVJ's Kirk Wright has the primetime news follow-up.
The Spanish Town bypass in St. Catherine is one of the major gateways into Kingston. The busy thoroughfare also borders two communities constantly at war, De La Vega City and the Marchpen community. The war between the communities gets heated at times, which sometimes lead to deaths. Last year, a relative was implicated in the killing of 5 members from one family in Marchpen Road. Residents think those killings are linked to people from De La Vega City. Marchpen Road people say they're always targeted by bad men from De La Vega City, and so they always feel a need to defend themselves.
We need security, but not the police.
The police have been visiting the Marchpen community more frequently since the killing of the 5 people last year. But instead of feeling more secure, residents say they feel trapped.
When them are coming in, they come in a private car. Them have a mask, gun over car window. Them are just going vehicle for run a gunshot. People afraid of our time now. So if we see car come anywhere, we can't even sit in the car when them are come.
If you sit down at your gates, 7 o'clock you're scared, 6 o'clock you're scared. We are thinking about man and we are thinking about police, because when the police them are come, them now come as a decent
Suspect in the death of noted journalist and former Radio Jamaica chairman Peter J.'s Herman Green has details.
97-year-old Peter Abrahams was found dead at his Red Hills home in St. Andrew on January 18. The suspect, 61-year-old Norman Tomlinson, who is the husband of Mr. Abraham's helper, was charged last night after giving the cops details on how he was killed. The police say Mr. Tomlinson confessed to the murder and has cooperated fully with the police in their probe. He reportedly told investigators that he went to Mr. Abraham's residence to beg him money. However, Mr. Abrahams refused his request, and that's when he was attacked. Investigators say he admitted to violently confirmed that Mr. Abrahams died from multiple injuries. The back of the head. Investigators say Mr. Abrahams lived alone, but Mr. Tomlinson was a regular visitor to the house. His body was found in his apartment after someone who went to visit him called the police because he was not responding. The suspect is to appear in the St. Andrew Parish Court on Friday. Herman Green, TVJ News.
The police have charged 20-year-old Shamar O'Mealy for the murder of the woman whose body was found in a barrel in Ramble St. Thomas earlier this month. Mr. O'Mealy, a taxi operator of a West Kingston address, was charged last night by CIV detectives. He was pointed out in an identification parade on Saturday. The police had detained Mr. O'Mealy and his girlfriend after the body of the 23-year-old Burger King employee, Nile Bound, was found. Mr. O'Mealy's girlfriend, who was Ms. Brown's landlady, was released on Sunday. A post-mortem revealed that Ms. Brown was strangled after being set.
The Prime Minister addressed the issue today at a pension investment seminar hosted by Sagicor. Details from TVJ's Andrea.
And serious because our teachers are hurting even in the existing conditions, and therefore anything that erodes that minimum that they are getting becomes a threat.
And to see whether or not it is fitting anything that we use in terms of police vehicle that is in this community. Well, I would want to make it clear that if personnel are work wearing masks without anything that is permitted by the JSAF, that's certainly a breach of JSAF policies. And so, as I said earlier on, in terms of the information that is given to us, what we are going to do now is to see whether or not any of this is, have any impact on our men and women that serve this community.
This evening, a call for the state to urgently address the disorder experienced by commuters who travel on certain Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC buses. An elderly woman says she almost lost her life as a result of the long-standing issue, and she's pushing for action to fix it. TV's Krista Campbell has her story.
If you're a regular commuter, you don't need to see a bus number to know when a Spanish Town bus has pulled into a depot or a bus stop. Without fail, commuters form a line and orderly await their turn to board the bus. However, it's a completely different scenario for other buses, especially for those in high demand and for which sufficient buses are not readily available. One such example is the number 3 bus, which plies the downtown to Gregory Park and Waterford route in Portmore, St. Catherine. 66-year-old Cynthia Tomlinson found herself on the ugly side of a mad rush to get a seat on one of those buses last Wednesday. She says after a 20-minute wait, it was sometime after 3 before a bus arrived, and by then, the dreaded school traffic had started to assemble. Dreaded because
the body start to rush towards the bus because most of the kids, some of the boys, them jump on the bus door, riding the bus door coming down, and the rest of them was running down with the bus. So the bus drive comes straight down to where we were, and then the stamping and everybody run behind the bus. They come down, some fall down, and everybody just tumble down from me. They were on top of me. I thought I died. I didn't see anything more than blackness.
As to what was happening to her, the bus driver opened the door and passengers helped to put her safely inside the bus.
I went in the bus barefoot, no shoes just on my foot. The ticket in my hand was bent up. And I was feeling severe pain.
She says her injuries were so severe she had to seek medical attention.
And I got to the doctor. The doctor said you could have died. Your body hurt, you're badly injured because all of the ligament in your earth is teared. So, and they send me and get some medication, get the medication, and it's I must do an X-ray. So I'm going to do the X-ray now. Still I feel pain.
Between tears, the 66-year-old showed us injuries she said she sustained in the ordeal. Mrs. Tomlinson says she's going to report the matter to the Jamaica Urban Transit Company as she pushes for a more orderly public bus service. Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
A top story this evening, cops and driver come to blows amidst anti-tint operations in St. Anne. Still ahead, sick building.